The 49ers state of the franchise continues. Keiana Martin joined by 49ers defensive coordinator Robert Saleh and special teams coordinator Richard Hightower. Gentlemen, first things first, how are we doing? How are we holding up with shelter in place? With Saleh, I think you have a full house going on over there. What's it like over there in the Saleh household?
Oh, it's awesome. You know, the kids, wife is doing an unbelievable job keeping a schedule, keeping a routine for the guys, for the kids. But it's been good. Every day, something new is happening. Every day is some kind of adventure, something exciting. So it's been good.
I would echo the same thing Saleh's saying. Women are amazing. I mean, my wife is just taking care of these kids over here. She's got them on schedule. They're on homeschool. They have breaks for recess. So she's trying to keep them on as normal a schedule as they could be on. So it's been great.
I feel like between the two of you guys, we almost have a whole starting defense, no?
Almost.
Almost.
Or a heck of a punt team, one of the two.
Exactly.
There you go, Saleh. You're the man, Saleh.
Coach Saleh, I'm going to start with you. Last season, your defense finished as the second-ranked unit in the NFL, sat at the top of the league in a number of categories. How do you follow that up? Does that come with any challenges with this unique offseason that we're all having?
You know, it's really the same message we've been having since the first day we arrived, and that you just want to try to get better every single day. Ignore the stats, ignore the noise, ignore all the things that people try to perceive you as, and focus on what you can do as an individual to get a little bit better every single day.
So this offseason didn't bring too many new faces to the defense, and there weren't many voids to fill. You guys extended Eric Armstead and Jimmy Ward. You've got DJ Jones coming back healthy. How should the continuity with your personnel, in addition to your scheme, allow this defense to be even better in 2020?
You know, the continuity helps. You know, the having as many guys in the back end come back together, even the front, it always helps. But like I just said, if we're not focused on trying to get a little bit better every single day, and we're ignoring the fact that ignoring what we did yesterday or last season and just maintaining our focus on today and the days ahead, we can build on that continuity. But the focus has to be getting better and on getting better, and I trust the guys that we have.
Coach Hightower, speaking of continuity, with your special teams in place now heading into their fourth season, you got your kicker, your punter, and your long snapper all returning. How may that overall continuity help the special teams unit develop into one of the better groups in the league?
Yeah, I think continuity always helps anything you're talking about, whether you're talking about the kickoff team, the punt team, the field goal team, or anything in life. And those guys are really done a really good job of playing off of one another. So it'll be exciting seeing these guys come in this year. But I'm echoing kind of the same thing that Saleh says. Is kind of what Kyle preaches is, you know, we just focus on getting better every day. And I talked to those guys yesterday, and they're still excited. They're fired up, and they just can't wait to get back in and get started.
I'll open this one up to the both of you. How is this offseason, given its uniqueness with the distance learning and virtual meetings, how have you guys had to adapt?
Yeah, it's just been a little different in terms of doing everything virtually, but it's been a really outstanding offseason. I mean, we've taken time to really dive into plays, and really you have a lot more time to explain things and really go over them and make sure you teach them exactly what you want to teach them. Obviously, at some point you have to go on the field, and we haven't been able to do that. So we trust that our guys are doing everything they are supposed to be doing, and they have been very attentive in meetings, and it's been really a great experience. It's really all about the mindset. I think Saleh and I talked about this a lot, and our players came into it with a very positive mindset and wanted to know how they can learn and how they can get better and how they can create some mental dominance.
Yeah, they have, and it's really selfishly from a coach's standpoint, being able to really dive in and take the time to really detail out all our different cut-ups that we have and all our different teach shapes, because now that you don't have practice tape to teach off of, you really have to go even further and deeper into all your teach tapes, and the players being able to take that and like Coach Hightower just talked about, the attentiveness that they've had and the attention to detail and the questions they've been asking. It's been a very, very productive. It's been very productive from that standpoint, and I'm excited to get to the football field so we can take all the things that we've talked about over the offseason, apply it to the football field, and then make the adjustments that we need to make to get even better.
Is your setups now, you guys have full-blown chalkboards and whiteboards, and is it turned into like a classroom for you guys at home?
I'll tell you what, our video department and our IT department did an unbelievable job. I think a lot of people can tell that even from the draft, but in terms of like our meeting rooms, it's almost so cool to be at home doing it. The thing you miss is the interaction with the guys, but we have our screens up. We have to where we can see every player. We could see if they want to type in and ask a question or just hop in and ask a question. So it's really like you're sitting in your office. I mean, those guys have done a great job. I don't know how Mike Bracken and all those guys do it in video and IT, but I tell you what, Brad Clark, all those guys have been super.
Coach Saleh, do you think the fact that your scheme has been in place for the last 3 years will benefit you in a strange offseason where you haven't been able to physically, like we were just talking about, be on the field with your players?
It's it goes back to the continuity thing. We're a lot of the guys that are here getting in the year 4 now of the system. There's a lot of guys that have been in the system, a lot of understanding. So the language and we can speak to our guys and they just fully understand what we're talking about, what we're getting at. They understand. It may not always be direct, but they understand what we're trying to get to. And so from that regard, being able to get to the football field and already have a feel for all that, it does help that I trust that they know the drills that we want to execute. So when they're training over this off season, they've been sent, they've got a recall of the drills that we do from an individual standpoint. So having that continuity has been very, very important. But again, once we hit that football field, the 3 most dangerous words in this league are "I got it." In life is to assume that you have it. And the challenge is to have humility and focus on getting better every single day and take the knowledge that you've gained over the last 3 years and try to find a way to apply it to year 4 so we can get better and try to get back to where we were.
I feel like I'm in a team meeting right now, by the way, you guys. Well, last year we saw Raheem Mostert take big steps forward in terms of his role on offense and having to dial back his role on special teams at times. If that were to continue this season, how important do you think, Coach Hightower, is it for you to identify and develop the next group of core special teamers? And also with that, how do you feel about the candidates we have?
To answer your question, I think it's very important, but I would feel bad if I didn't say how proud I am of Raheem and the step he's taken. That's something that we promote in our room. We want those guys to play really well on special teams and get their opportunity, because if they get an opportunity on offense or defense, that means somebody noticed them and they were helping the team more than one way. And that's kind of what we preach. And our young guys know that. So we put up, I know it's public now, Raheem being on 6 different teams, but we've been preaching that for a long time. We make sure every rookie knows that coming in. Every young guy knows what Raheem had to do to get where he is. And we got so many examples of that. Our personnel has done a really good job of getting guys in that really understand what it is to win ball games, what it is to be a team, what it is to play complementary football, to help the offense, to help the defense, and just know what you need to do in order to help win games.
You've talked about in the past creating explosive plays in the special teams phase of the game to set up the other 2 phases. This year, it appears you have a great deal of options in the return game. Then you add guys like Travis Benjamin and Brandon Ayuk. How exciting for you as a coach is it to have that many talented players competing and bringing out the best in one another?
I think competition brings the best out in all of us, and I really can't wait to see those guys get on the field and get after it. I know that they're all excited about it. It's too bad you can't have all 6 of them on the field or 7 of them on the field, because then nobody will be able to block. But we have some really explosive players. So I'm excited about that. I'm excited to see those guys, what they do explosively on offense and defense as well. So I'm so fired up about it.
It's a good problem to have, right?
Yeah, really good problem to have.
We're talking about the options of returners on special teams, but Coach Saleh, I felt like going into last season that one of the deepest position groups on the roster was along the D-line, and having guys that can play multiple spots. The one role that you did fill this offseason was replacing Buckner, and that the team made that priority number 1 in drafting Javon Kinlaw. What was it about Javon and his career at South Carolina that made the team identify him as the 49ers' top target? And will the lack of on-field practice this offseason kind of make it tricky in his acclimation to the NFL?
I'll answer the first part. He's a very large human being, very explosive, very powerful, plays with the mindset that we like, a very angry football player. So he possesses the skill set that we look for, especially at the defensive line spot. And for the second question, it's always going to hurt. From a coach's standpoint, anyway. Veterans will argue otherwise, that not having OTAs and not being able to go through those the adjustments, the feel the first time in the locker room, being able to get all that out of the way, so that way when he does hit training camp, it's not new to him. So there is going to be a little adjustment period, but hopefully he catches on quick and gets rolling.
And I feel like that along this D line, he has a lot of veterans there to kind of take him under the wing. I was told there's a group chat. Are you a part of the group chat, or they left you out?
I'm out.
And I've been thinking about this over the last couple of weeks. Does the fact that this team played until February and the majority of players and coaching staff returning this season, do you feel, in your opinion, that benefits this team heading into 2020, where every team to some extent is dealing with the effects of quarantine, shelter in place, not being able to access this team facility? But is this kind of a benefit for this team heading into this year?
In theory, right, you'd say absolutely. But again, it's the mindset at which you approach it. If you think you're going to be okay just because you've been together for a long time and you approach training camp with that mindset that, hey, we've been together, we know what to do, so we're going to go do it again, then you're going to get punched in the mouth. But if you approach it as if you are starting over from day one to get better every single day, then yeah, it could be a tremendous benefit. So it all depends on the mindset.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more with what Saleh's saying. That's what it is with anything, whatever you're attacking in life, what is your mindset? And I know for us on special teams, we want to play smart, we want to play sound, we want to play relentless. And that's just our mindset. That's how we go about our business. And whenever we get a chance to get on the field, we hope that carries over to what we've been doing in the offseason. Put together some wins. I
don't think we could have finished this on a better note. This was great. Coach Saleh, Coach Hightower, thank you both so much for joining us. It is always a pleasure. Enjoy family time. Let's get this roster ready to go. These home rosters, but appreciate you guys and looking forward to seeing you guys on the field soon.
Thank you, Keiana. Take care. Thank you.